Welcome to Public Privacy Podcast, Episode 1. I'll be your host, Lauren, here with my co host, Alex.
What up?
Finally filming Episode 1 for you guys.
Yeah, it's here, guys. We are here. There's been a lot of technical difficulties along the way. We're not gonna front. This is not our first take.
No.
We've had plenty of takes, but it's a learning experience. There is a lot that goes behind to a podcast in itself. It may look easy when you watch it or you hear one, but behind the scenes, there's a lot that needs to be on point to make sure that it sounds good. Not only sound good, but look good.
The setup was like, oh, wow. People do this and they set it up to take it down. And it's like, wow, it's going to be
all the angles, the cameras, and stuff like that. But we got it down. Yeah. We're here now. And this episode is going to be very short. It's not going to be anything crazy. We're not going to be here for 2-3 hours or anything like that. Just kind of an insight of what public privacy is all about, what the name means, a few topics, things like that. So that way, again, you guys kind of have an idea of what to expect when it comes to our other episodes. And like I said, as far as the name goes, I've been getting a lot of questions about that.
Yeah, that's a main question.
Yeah, that's a main question, is what does public privacy mean? Because they are opposites. You mind going into a little bit of detail about what it means?
So public privacy, I want it to represent the public aspect being that it's going to be available to everybody that, wants to tune in and interact with us, give us their feedback, constructive criticism, those have them, give us dialogue and conversation that they're not usually comfortable, talking about. And then privacy, giving them that comfort that they're welcome and they're not going to be judged, or giving just basically giving them just that reassurance that it's okay to talk about those things that usually society tells us it's
not okay and things like that. Yeah.
And I feel like we should really tap into any conversation, any dialogue that people are usually shying away from, and it's just going to be breaking down like stigmas and taboo stuff that people,
Yeah, there you go.
And even us that we're not usually.
Yeah. Yeah, we're new to this, guys. It's all new to us. So we are going to be, disagreeing to agree or agree to disagree. And, it's not always going to be, I'm right and you're wrong kind of thing.
And not everybody's going to agree with us. We're going to have different opinions. And at the end of the day, we're going to respect them. It's never going to get negative or nasty. Although that's what situations tend to get to, especially when it's certain topics that people are very passionate about. And that's okay,
Yeah.
It's okay to have a different point of view and a different opinion, as long as at the end of the day we learn and we grow together. I feel like that's, that's the point of what we're trying to go for.
That's a good way. Yeah, that's actually a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And, as far as some of the topics that we want to cover on the show, there are gender roles, there's dating, there's relationships, there's health and fitness. There's a lot of things that we want to cover.
Yeah.
And if you guys have any suggestions, please feel free to reach out to us on Instagram. Send us a DM of topics that you don't feel comfortable with. We'll talk about them. If you're not okay with it. And there are also a lot of locals that, came up from this past year as far as the pandemic goes, which I think is super cool. There's a lot of people. Yeah, there's a lot of talented people out there that I didn't know had that specific talent. And it kind of threw me back, but I was like, oh, that's,
Yeah.
I was like, dang, okay, like I see you, okay. Yeah. And that's kind of how we came up too. It was something that she came to me and she was like, I want to do this. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. Like, and it was a process. We started getting equipment, little things here and there, and now we're here.
It's all about, starting small and building little by little, because it's not going to be, unless, you have that opportunity where you could just do it in an impulse. Like that's, good, cool.
Yeah.
But if you're starting small, you know, invest in whatever you want to do. Take that chance on yourself. It's super important because you'll never know unless you try. And that's literally how this started, that I was so scared of doing it because I like things to be very, like, I'm a perfectionist. And if things didn't look a certain way, and I was comparing how I wanted my podcast to be like somebody else's, but that's not what it is at the end of the day. It's making it your own and being original. And I felt like that's when I started to be more confident and comfortable with the podcast,
Yeah.
because I wanted to be something of, you know, my own, and I wanted to be original.
Yeah.
Not just like, oh, I wanted to be like this and I wanted to look like that, when it's like we all have different, you know, situations at the end of the day. So it's never going to compare.
Yeah.
But for sure, the pandemic, you know, a lot of people made something out of such a, you know, shitty situation that we all got put through, because it wasn't just like, oh, certain people, no, the whole world. You
Yeah,
know?
I think it took a hit on everybody. Yeah.
And I'm so happy, and I admire everybody that, you know, made something out of such a bad situation. And we're here to support and give you that, you know, platform to share your story, your experience, just your craft and how it started, because that's, you know, that's a good
important.
thing.
Yeah. And we're trying to build a community here, guys. We're not here to shy anybody away or
compete
No. Or say you're not good enough, or you know, you don't have X amount of followers. We're not about that. We want to,
I want to put the person with like the least amount of followers, you know, because that's usually the person that they don't get that chance, because people are like, oh, well, you know, they're not up to a certain standard, which is such a messed up thing that society put on us, you know, that the followers or that's not what's relevant at the end of the day. It's what they bring, you know, and what they have to offer.
Yeah. And there's a lot of talented people out there in the AV that you may not know about. And we want to bring them on and show you what they're all about, and have them share their experiences, and, you know, give them a voice to be able to talk. And it ranges from artists to, you know,
clothing brands. Shout
out Low Gangspo. But yeah, there's just a lot of stuff out there that you may not be aware of, and you know, we want to be able to.
This is going to be the platform that we want to support locals, and I just need to be like, yeah, support locals, and like never have a local on. You know, it's like, no, it's have locals on. You know, interact with them and just genuinely support them, you know, because we want everybody to win. It's not just going to be, you know, a selfish type of thing, like, oh, it's only about us and what we have, you know, to say. It's like, no, we want to get there, you know.
For sure. And to be able to stay connected with us, guys, we'll be on Instagram. You'll be able to check us out on there. We'll be posting a lot more content for you guys to be able to keep in touch with us. Again, if you guys have any questions, any discussions that you want to have, again, reach out to us on DMs. We'd be more than happy to have that conversation with you guys. As far as how you'll be able to listen to us or watch us, you can check us out on Spotify and YouTube. I am working on a few other platforms. So, for example, like Apple Podcasts and things like that. That's a little bit harder, but for sure you'll be able to check us out on Spotify and on YouTube as well too.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's basically going to be a wrap for this podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the support. We appreciate it. This has been such a good journey to be embarking in. It's been, you know, it's been hard, but I'm glad to, you know, be taking this chance, and learning and growing with one another is super important to me. So I just want to thank everybody that's been on this ride with us. It's been
we've been having a lot of support from friends and family, and we really appreciate the kind words and all that stuff from you guys. And
the feedback means a lot.
The feedback means so much, and we just can't wait to share what we got to share and bring on who we want to bring on. But for now, that pretty much wraps it up, guys.
We'll keep you guys updated with all the podcast drops, and we'll catch you next time.
Deuces.
Bye.